So I'm making this video because people always ask me, how do you do it? How do you get into a really cool car, a dream car of mine? And over all these years of testing out these performance cars in the racetrack, making YouTube videos and connecting all of you guys with the latest and greatest going on in the automotive industry, I have had the opportunity to really not just test out cars, but own really cool cars. Thank you guys so much for making all this possible, because this brand, Speed Phenom, has been around for almost 10 years now. It's insane. We've reached over 100 million people around the world. If you see the countries that view the content that we post here, it's really just humbling. It's incredible. So I just want to thank you guys for making all of this happen. Real quickly, guys, we did start a Speed Phenom Film, our beautiful facility here in the beach of Carlsbad, California. If you guys need any services for PPF wraps, front end, full car, window tint, ceramic coating, and more, give us a call at 760-496-8607. We would love to take care of you here at our state-of-the-art facility on the beach of Carlsbad. So hit us up for a hassle-free quote today. So in this video, I want to break down how I was able to get my dream cars from making these YouTube videos, and how you guys can adopt this framework for whatever you're really working on. Whether you want to buy, I would say, your dream house or your dream car, I think what I am going to describe in this video will really help you. It all started with me many years ago. I had a passion for videos, cameras, especially cars. Like many of you, I played all the racing games, the simulators, all that good stuff. I even was, I don't want to say the kid that didn't go out much growing up in high school and middle school, all those earlier grades, but I was always sitting there going, within my head, I want to be part of something bigger than myself. I want to connect people. So when I was first getting introduced to automotive YouTube, that is when things were starting to ring a bell in my head. Because I'm seeing these other car enthusiasts out there, they're getting to showcase their joy for automobiles and racing, and then they get to share that with people. And then new opportunities open up from that. So that is what really sparked my entire passion for doing YouTube. I found my own niche. I found a way for me to produce value for other people. And then in return, with any business that you have, any company you have, you get paid for that value, of course. So what I want to get over in this video is that the mindset of, okay, he's got this McLaren here. This is just a symbol for the McLaren 750S we have. And if I flip it over, it'll say 750S right there. This is a model you get when you buy a 750S from McLaren. And it's made out of a very nice brushed metal. It's carbon fiber right there. It's really neat. It's much heavier. It's significantly heavier than the Corvettes that I have right here. But let's put this back down. Here's my Corvette C8. My C8R, my Z06. This is a gear shift knob for my GT350R. Let me know, what do you guys think of all this decor we're putting on the desk? I don't have the gear shifter to my Miata here. I raced Miatas many years ago. I got my SCCA racing license. It was so much fun. But that's how it started out for me. I used to drive my Ford Expedition from 1990, or I forgot the year. It was a very old one. You don't just start out with a C8 Corvette Z06. And I know many people might watch these videos and go, "You're a younger guy, Austin. How do you have that? Or what are you doing so I can do the same thing to get it too?" And I always entertain people who ask me this, because I want to try to help people. And ask anyone that knows me, they'll tell you that, you know, I want to try to be helpful for other people to achieve what they want to do. Number one thing, and before I get into numbers and how you can actually get into an $80,000 Corvette, to a $186,000 Corvette, even a $70,000 GT350R with the gear shifter right here, I just want to start out with saying, if you don't have an avenue of a direction to go, you're going to struggle a bit. And I don't mean this in terms of monetary return. I mean this in the sense of, you have to find something that you enjoy doing so you can keep doing it over time. And with anything, it'll always grow It may not be in the ways that you like, but you learn stuff along the way. Whether you want to learn a guitar and then maybe start playing for people, or you want to go into computer science, right? Get a degree and go from there. Just find something that you're into. Even investing, right? That can be another thing. I was able to get all these cars, and I'll even add up the amount of funds this all has costed over the years, not including gas or anything else. And I believe it's well into like the $1 million range. It's crazy. I've never ever done this before. I was able to get a GT350 to go all the way into a CA Corvette and beyond, a GT500 and more, because when I started to get the YouTube rolling, I was able to really begin to start making money too as a younger guy. I didn't spend any of the earnings from any of the media channels that we had. I kept it. And not in the sense of, oh, I kept it like because I don't ever want to spend it. No, I kept it and repurposed it. I repurposed it by putting it towards the things that I enjoyed. Things that I can continue to enjoy, and then someone else could enjoy down the road. When you go from a $50,000 car to an $80,000 car to a $100,000 car and beyond, it's kind of like a leveling system. And you'll even know this if you've dealt with, what's an example I can give you? Financing. This is one question I get asked all the time. If you wanted to finance a $150,000 car, well, the odds are they won't ever give you that deal unless you've proven to them that you've financed up to X amount, right? So if you needed $100,000 in financing for a car, they want to see that you've at least financed maybe $60,000, $70,000, and then you can go beyond. That is just a starting point. You want to leverage anything you can to get towards building that reputation of, I've achieved this, I don't want to say level of a car, but price point of a car. What I did, which was unique, I think, is I kept investing all the funds I was really making as a younger guy into a car. That's it, a car. And what I do from there, when I saw the next cool car, I kind of knew in my head, like, that car is going to hold its value. It's popular. I want to get into it. I want to share what it's like. You guys like it. So I just simply sold the current car I had and got into the next car. The hardest part with this, and I'm sharing this in today's video because hopefully it inspires many of you. I get attached. I get attached to the car, right? I miss my GT350R. I miss other vehicles I've had, such as the 600 LT, even the Z06, this guy right here. But guess what? I'm not Jay Leno, and I know many of you guys aren't either. I can't have a massive warehouse of hundreds of extremely valuable cars. I'm just not there yet. You know, I'm a regular guy, just like all of you, or girls. You know, everyone starts out, it's like a video game, right? You start with the starter vehicle, you go to the intermediate, you go to the advanced, you go to the super, maybe hyper, even the collector car realm. It's always a progression system, right? And once you kind of progress, there's no way to go back because you kind of shown that you can achieve it. With the GT500, you know, I sold that for the GT500 track pack. I sold those Shelbys to get a McLaren. Think about it. I worked my way up from having basically the Mustangs, right, to a McLaren, even the Corvettes. At one point when I had the Mustangs, I sold all of them. We got to the point with the channel, you guys loved the content. We had multiple Ford Mustangs. I sold 3 of them to get the funds together to get into the McLaren 600 LT. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna visualize that for you guys. Imagine you're going to college, right? You choose the cheapest college there is. I chose the cheapest one, like I could find anywhere. And I paid for it month by month with the money I was earning working my job. That was an avenue where I didn't have to be stuck with crazy college debt. You know, people, they may be going to a very prestigious school, right? A very high-end school. I know some people who are exiting college with $300,000 in debt. And I'm going, dang, That's a 600 longtail. Or, hey, shoot, that's a Corvette ZR1 with a 60K markup on it. Stuff like that, right? It doesn't really equate very much, does it? Because, hey, at college year, you can get a good job, right? Good job. It depends on your framework. It really does. I like to put in an objective or a physical presence to an amount of money in a way to build goals. And it's always helped me to build my goals. It really has. So with myself over the years, I always would get a car that I knew that I'm going to sell it. I would see a new car coming out. I knew that this worked with my business. I'm going to get towards it. And I'm doing it because it's a passion of mine too. I want to see how fast this new car is on the track, and it's all going back into my company. I'm not throwing stuff away, throwing money away. I would get a car. I'd work up enough funds, sell the car I had, use the extra funds I made to buy the next car, and then the next car, and then the next car. Over time, it keeps going. Anything that you do in life, it just keeps going, right? So then, next thing you know, we go from Mustangs to mid-engine Corvettes. What? Mid-engine Corvettes? These things. I got to own a car with an engine that's behind me. You kidding me? And then we got to the McLarens, and finally to the 750S. One thing you have noticed with me, though, is that I'm able to sell a car without getting too attached, right? No, I'm always very attached. But after you do it so many times, it's like, poof. I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. There's an on switch where you're attached to the car, but after so many times of selling the cars that you're attached to, you can kind of control it a little bit, kind of like Star Trek. You know, you can be the half human Spock and then the half Vulcan Spock, where you just kind of switch into that Vulcan mindset, and you're like, it's logical for me to go ahead and make this sale. It just gets like that because you're getting something else, and you know that next thing is going to make you happy too. So over the years, we have gotten a GT350R, a GT500 Super Snake, a Mustang GT500 from the 2020 era, so the S550 gen. We got a Shelby GT500 carbon fiber track pack. I then got the C8 Corvette. I got the C8R. I got the McLaren 600 Longtail. I sold the 600 Longtail eventually, but I'm jumping ahead of myself. And then I bought the C8 Corvette Z06. And then I bought, what was next? The Ford Raptor R. And then I bought the McLaren 750S. I don't think I'm missing anything. It's 10 cars. So let's go over how much everything has cost on YouTube to get all these cars, all 10 cars over the years. I think GT350 is like 73,000. Super Snakes were like 160, I believe. The GT500 I bought was 95 grand. That was a 2020 GT500. After that, I sold that GT500 and bought the carbon fiber track pack. The next car was the C8 Corvette. It was 88 grand in 2020. I sold that C8 Corvette and bought the next model year one, which was the C8R, and that was 100 grand. Very cool car. We were number 9 out of a couple hundred. It was a super rare, super limited car. The biggest purchase to this point we made was the McLaren 600 LT, 250,000. After that car, we picked up the Corvette Z06, which was $186,000. That Corvette was that much money. We then bought the Ford Raptor R, which was 120, I believe. Yeah, I think it was 120 grand. I could be like off by a couple $1,000s, but I think it was 120. Finally, the last car, the most expensive car, let's just throw this thing on here. We're at 1.6. You guys have caused 1.6 million in cars to be run through on the channel. Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? $1.6 million worth of cars have been showcased, tracked, and driven hard here on the Speed Phenom YouTube channel. And that's not even counting in how much this next car is probably going to be. I've not gone over numbers yet. So the GTD is going to throw us overboard, like right there in the 2 mark. Jesus, look what you guys have done here. Obviously, there's a trend here. I have not kept all the cars. I've always sold cars, moved to the next car. But that's so insane, guys. Can you believe that? YouTube costs a lot of money, doesn't it? Let us know your thoughts. What do you think of the entire amount we've spent here on the channel in cars, total car collection value over the years? And we're just getting started with some of the extra fun stuff like GTD. So stay posted, guys. Stay posted. I hope this video inspired you to follow your dreams, never give up. And if you want to ask me any questions about starting your own business and more, I'm more than happy to try to get back to you on social media. Give me a follow on Instagram, speed_phenom. Shoot me a DM. And I'd love to hear you guys with what you're passionate about and what you want to do to achieve your dreams. Please comment below too. If you want to share your story and more. If you were just into houses, you could just get a house like that. Work your way up. Start with a small one, rent it out, move to the next one, or sell it, flip it, go to the next one, right? There's many ways you can do this, and it's all cyclical. These are all models that are they grow over time. So I hope you enjoyed hearing this feedback in today's video. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It really helps me out, and subscribe for much more great content coming out your way. While you do that, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything coming out. I'll see you in the next one.